Whether you're an early morning person who likes to exercise or later in the day, some of these moves that we're going to do will benefit you at any time. I do like to tell people though that sometimes when you work out first thing in the morning, you're a little stiffer in your body because you've spent the night sleeping, hopefully, and your joints are not as used to being mobile. And that's why it's important just to take things a little slower as you begin. So I'm going to tie my hair up because I need that to be out of the way so that I can get into my first movement, which is a foam roller and opening up the sides of my body. So starting at the top of the hip and then rolling our body all the way out onto just above the knee and then back again. Now I'm able to roll with both legs like so. If you still need to just place one foot onto the floor, that's okay, because this is pretty intense. And the more you do, the better it gets. I will say that. And then we're going to roll just forward and backward of the center line. So you don't have to do many of these just to start to feel really good. And then I like to go in the reverse as well, so that you're getting different angles of your muscles with every movement. And then last one like that. And then we're going to go ahead and flip over to do the opposite side. So as we go ahead, we again start at the top side of your leg where the bump is, and then you're going all the way down that leg line. Now it's important that you do go the whole length of the leg, because there's some very good muscles that we want to get targeted in that area. Remember to spiral. And, this area of the body gets such a bad rap because, you're not supposed to stretch your IT band, which of course you're not supposed to do. But the muscles that live underneath the band are what we're getting that releasing for. We're going to come now onto our front body, and you're going to start with the roller towards the top side of your thighs. Move your elbows out in front and then just move towards the elbows and away. So with this one, again, just double check that you're not slumping in your lower back or between your shoulders. Turning your feet out for a few. So again, just changing the direction. Turn your toes in. Will change the feeling through these muscles. And coming back. All right, so from here we're going to finish off with just a little bit of a calf stretch. So I like to go with flat feet. If you are finding that is too intense for you, then you're just going to prop up onto your toes, which is a marvelous stretch for your feet. But it will also diminish what is happening around the back of the ankle area. So we're just going from a side to side motion, just getting into the Achilles. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, there's nothing happening there. There's plenty happening there. Let's move the roller up just a little bit higher, and then doing the same thing. By now, you're going to really target some of that muscle area, so you'll feel there's a difference in it. If this is becoming quite challenging for you, just notice if your shoulders are coming up, try and drop them down and be as relaxed as possible through the position. And then final position to take it right to the backs of the thighs and then sitting down into the center. Now, I was moving in some of them. This one, I don't really feel like I want to move. I just want to sort of stay still and just let that pressure ease when it's ready to. All right, from here, we'll take that roller just towards the edge of your mat, and then we're going to spin you around. So these are my standard things I love to do on a foam roller, especially if I only have about 5 minutes or so. So just taking yourself into a reclined position, hands to support your head, and then you're going to go over for a nice big stretch and then coming forward. I usually tell people your body will find the right position for you. I can't tell you exactly where to go with this one. You've got to make sure it feels comfortable. The point is that you're getting a stretch in your upper back from about the mid to lower body. There should be no feeling or sensation whatsoever in terms of like stiffness or tightness or uncomfortable. And we'll do one more time, reclining back and over. And then you're going to nod your head up. You're going to hover your bottom, and you're going to start to roll towards the base of the ribs and then towards the tops of the shoulders. So as you're rolling backward and forward, again, your feet are your anchor. And you're just getting this lovely ironing out feeling through the back of the body. And then finally, we'll come to rest. All right, from here, we're going to bring that roller all the way through and underneath your legs. So taking a seat up, wriggle yourself closer towards the front side. See if you can get that roller to stay close towards you, and then you're going to take your way into a little curl back. So we're going to roll ourselves down until your hands are roughly in line with the tops of the legs, and then curl yourself forward and sit yourself up nice and tall. And then repeating that, rolling through the back of the pelvis, tucking the tail under, but not scrunching through your neck and shoulders. And then rolling the front shoulders over the hips and back up. So as we go backward, we're keeping the legs where they are in space, and we're moving the body away from the thighs. And then we're moving the body again toward the thighs and lifting up. We're going to go one more time. We're going to hold the position. So we can find our position where we are, nice and comfortable through the back, well supported. Let's send 2 arms up for the ceiling, in breath. And then exhale, bringing them down. And then repeating, inhale, raise. And exhale down. Now you won't get all the way towards your ears, and that's quite fine. And if you do, then you've possibly gone a little too far backward. And then curling yourself forwards and up. We go again, we roll the body down, we find our position, we pause and we open the arms out and we bring them back in. And again, widen and narrow. We'll do that one more time. Wide, narrow, and then roll. Now we're going to repeat that sequence, but we're going to add a challenge. If you need to, keep your feet back on the floor and just repeat what we did. So pausing here, once you've found your scoop position, can you hover your 2 feet away from the ground? Let's go again 3 times. Arms to the ceiling and down. And again, lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. See if you can still stay very steady in your body, and then roll yourself all the way up. And we've got one more round to go as we tilt ourselves back, find your balance, hover the legs, open the arms out and bring them back. So when your feet are off the floor, maybe you're not going as far with your arms, and that's quite normal. Bring the arms back, tap those legs down to the mat, and then roll yourself all the way back to sitting. We're coming all the way down now. As you do, roll the roller closer in, lift your hips up, and place the roller underneath the back of the pelvis. So here we're just going to feel an opening through the fronts of the hip area. This is just such a gentle way of opening into the creases that are often very closed from all the things like we do with sitting. Let's bring the knees up into the air. And then from here, we're going to roll our legs over towards the right side, and then back through the center and over towards the left side. So as you're taking your legs across, you want to try and keep the legs together. So we don't want to feel like one knee is sliding away from the other one. It's almost like that top leg wants to reach a little further over to the side. And, we are flipping our pelvis from a flat position into a side position. You'll be feeling all sorts of delicious things underneath the back of your pelvic area, which is just going to help release any tension that could be coming from legs, that could be coming from back. And then one more time towards the left side, and then we'll bring it back to the center. Let's flick those legs up towards the ceiling. We're going into a scissor. So one leg goes back, one leg goes down, and then pass each other over. So with your scissor stride, you want to make it as parallel as possible, as sort of perfect as possible. And then one more, we're going to make it into a bicycle. So from here, we're going to bend the bottom knee and bring it through and then extend. So your bicycle is still as beautifully long as your scissor stride was. And then one more bicycle through, and then holding the 2 legs up towards the ceiling. Start to lower them down about halfway. Turn the heels together, toes apart. Pull your knees in for a frog bend, and then pressing out. So as we do this movement, you're not collapsing your thighs towards your chest. You're maintaining them just above the hip joint area. 2 more to go. And then hold the legs all the way out, turn your toes to the ceiling, raise the legs and circle out and back down. So we go 4 circles in each direction, staying nice and steady onto the roller's edge. Last one as we come all the way through, and then pause at the top and go down and reverse for 4. So again, feeling into each hip socket, making sure that you're nice and smooth through both directions. Last time around, and then bringing it all the way back in. Let's put your right foot down onto the floor, holding your left leg towards you. So if you've got the length, you go with a straight leg with the right leg. If you're feeling that's a bit too much in your back or your hip, then you keep your knee bent. So just holding this beautiful long length, we're going to release your right hand and stretch your right arm overhead as well. So you've got this beautiful length from fingers to toes, and then we'll pull everything back in. We'll start with the left foot down, stretching it all the way out, pulling the right knee in. Just stay here for a moment. Feel the tissues unwinding around your hip, and then releasing the left arm all the way over for a nice big long stretch. And then from there, we're going to place both feet back to the floor, lift your hips, and roll the roller out. From here, we're going to go onto your side position, so bringing yourself up into a comfortable place, and let's do a little bit of arm releasing. So from here, we go with our elbow position right at the edge of the roller, and you're going to roll yourself out to your underarm and then coming back again. This one, I always like to remind people that, there's it doesn't always stay in the right place. So you've got to maneuver it and shift it so that it suits you. And then as you're doing the next few, let's start to play with your arm position. So turning your palm down for a couple, turning your palm up for a couple. It will make a difference to the movement for sure, just like when we spiraled our legs. So leaving it into the underarm area, close your knees together, close your elbows together, rotate down, and then rotate up. And again, twisting toward the floor and twisting away from the roller. We'll do one more time, twist and open, and then coming all the way through. We'll change our side position again. So going over to the opposite way. And again, starting with that elbow positioned right up on the top of the roller edge. You'll see my legs are staggered. That's important so that I can give myself the leverage to be able to come up and down with ease. So I'm not putting all the strain on my shoulder. I'm actually working to release the shoulder and giving all the support to the other parts of my body. All right, adding in those spiraling arms. So turning a palm down, turning a palm up, and pick out which is your favorite way to do it. And then again, settling into the groove in the underarm. Tuck the knees, tuck the arms, and here we go 3 times, just rolling your chest for the ceiling and closing it back. So these are great ways to open up your body. I am doing this first thing in the morning, so I'm being really gentle with myself before I sort of push myself through the rest of my day. So just making sure that everything is working smoothly. And you don't have to do very complicated things in order to feel good. I do these kind of things every single day, and that's what keeps me feeling mobile and loose in my joints. So we're going to take our lie down here on our front body now and send your arms out in front of you. So we've got the roller about midpoint of your forearm position, and we're going to lower the head and chest just toward the mat. So the ears are between the arms. You don't want to drop your head onto the ground. Sliding the roller away from you, let the shoulders slide up, and then drawing the shoulders down, the roller comes closer in. So we're just getting that movement of our shoulder blades going forward and backward. And then from there, we're going to start to lift the front of the chest up as you lightly press down onto the roller's top, and then lowering yourself back towards the mat again. So we'll do that another 2 times, just feeling the upper body coming away from the floor and then lowering back. So we warmed up our upper back when we were draping over the roller in the very beginning of our series. And now we're working the strength of that back body. So we're going to come up on the next one. We're going to pause in the air and hold your position. Turn your thumbs so that they face up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to raise your left arm up and away from the roller, and then lower it back down, and then raising the right arm up and down. So we've got another 2 to each side. As you do this, making sure you're staying nice and steady in your back position. You're not shifting from one side to the other. Last time on each direction. And then as the arm is coming up, there's no feeling of neck squeezing. And then lowering your body all the way back towards the floor. We'll peel up again. As you do, let's turn those thumbs towards the ceiling again, just to get those shoulders really well placed on the back spine. From here, we're going to work on our legs. So we're going to take our right leg and lift it up off of the floor, and then lowering it down. And then the left leg. So the same principle, we want to move the legs without moving the torso. So keeping everything in the upper body as steady as possible. One more time to each side as we hover a leg up and down, and then the other side up and down, and then lowering yourself towards the mat. We're coming into our finale of this movement as we come all the way up, and maybe you've guessed it, we're doing opposite arm and leg. So we're raising left arm and right leg up, and then bringing it down, and then switch and return. Again, we have 2 more on each side. The leg that's going behind, you don't want it to drift away from the center, so it's not suddenly making its way out to the edge of the mat. It's still in a parallel position, lifting, and not lifting so high that your lower back feels like it's about to jam out, and then pressing all the way away from you. From here, let's bring you up onto all fours position. And as we do, we'll place the hands onto the roller and just enjoy a nice stretch of our back again. So similar to what we just did, we're going to send the arms all the way out. It'll line up with about the mid of your upper arm, or lower arm, keeping the arms very well integrated into the shoulders. So we don't want to sink and drop. You want to really feel like you're well balanced. And I'm going to lead the eyes and the chest to come up, looking towards the front. And then we'll press it out again and stretch out long. And then repeating again, coming up and looking forward. And then again, pressing it out and away. Last time as we come up and bring it forward all the way and roll that roller in towards you. So we're going to put the roller back behind the backs of the knees where we began earlier in our class. We're going to take a tuck position and above our feet and bring our hands underneath our shoulders. So right now my knees are a little closer to me than directly under my hip because I'm kind of sitting into the back of the pelvis. From this position, I'm going to hover my knees just off of the mat. This is quite easy as I sort of feel like I'm going to push back towards my feet, and then I'm going to bring myself back down again. And then again, rocking towards the back. And then coming towards the front. Let's do that one more time. Nice and simple motion, moving onto the balls of the feet and then away from there. Now let's make this one a little bit more challenging. Bring those hands in a little closer. And what you're going to do is you're going to hover your knees away from the ground without sinking further back, and then return. And again, hover the knees and lift. And then returning them back down. One more time as you hover the knees and lift, and let's see if you can take it back and forward, keeping the knees away from the ground. So sitting back and coming forward, and last time sitting back and coming forward. And then from here, we'll drop the knees back towards the floor, untuck the toes, and move the roller out of the way. So we'll just bring it towards the front of your mat now. And again, we're going to tuck those toes. This time we're going to send the bottom right up towards the ceiling and go for a nice stretch. So you may need to start with your knees nicely bent. And then let's see if you can straighten one heel towards the floor. Let the other leg bend, and then bend through both legs, and then stretch out through the other one. So as I said, if you're doing this like first thing in the morning, you want to be really careful that you don't push yourself too far, too fast. Just easing your body into movement again that it knows and loves. One more time to each side, just getting good stretch through the back of the legs, through the back of the spine. And then let's bring it all the way down. And I think, that was quite sweaty actually. So I hope that was a good way to wake up for you this morning, and or whenever you're doing this exercise series. And just remember, rollers are so versatile and they can provide so much support. They can also do a lot of releasing, which is, part of the things that we have to do in our bodies to maintain the way our joints love to feel. Anyway, have a great day, and I will see you again in the next video. Check out some of these videos if you're looking for more.